Okay, we're pleased to now have with us Coach Bill Self from the University of Kansas. Coach, if you can get us started with some general comments.
Well, I'm happy to be here in the T-Mobile. Last time we played here, I was unable to attend, so this is good for me to be back in you guys' presence because you guys know I love the media and miss the media, but I'm real excited about this year. I think we've got a roster that has a chance. I think we have a real chance, and I know nothing is guaranteed, and we got a lot of work ahead of us to become what I think we could potentially be. But I do like our roster, and I think it should be a fun year for us as long as we can stay healthy.
Okay, please let us get a wireless mic to you, and we'll be looking for your name and your affiliation. Okay, let's go here in the front row on the right, Coach.
Gary Bedore, Casey Stark. Coach, we heard you might have opened the season on the injured list. Did you have a minor injury or bust up some ribs? And what happened?
I don't think broken ribs are minor, but I actually broke two ribs the other day chasing my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old granddaughter around Allen Fieldhouse Court right before late night. So one of the least athletic moves of my life, and certainly the definition of feeling old, but I'm doing fine.
Okay, we got one over your left, Coach, on about the fourth row from the front.
Henry Greenstein, Lawrence Journal World. I know you guys don't put too much stock in these things, and you've been ranked #1 in preseason polls in previous years. Just how do you feel like the expectations this year compare to what you may have faced in years past?
Well, I actually looked at that the other day because I didn't even know when we had been ranked preseason one. But in the years that we had, we've had good years, but they haven't finished great. So I'm certainly hopeful that we can change that trend, but I really don't know that it adds a lot of pressure. I don't. I think the expectations are that we should be pretty good, and I do think we're fairly talented, and I'd just as soon be ranked there than not ranked there. So it makes for energy, and it makes for maybe hopefully some recruiting positive mail outs and those sorts of things. But you said it though, it means absolutely nothing, and will have no bearing on how good a team we have this year.
Okay, we got one on the TV platform in the back. We've got one here in the middle on the third row. We'll go here on the third row first.
Yeah, Coach Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. Hunter Dickinson, kind of a larger-than-life presence, especially after his kind of recruitment saga. I'm curious, after having coached him and been around him every day, something you have learned about him that maybe the general public doesn't know?
Well, first of all, the recruiting saga was exactly the way recruiting should go. You recruit him hard and hope for the best. I mean, it was to me, it's always hard getting great prospects because the competition is always stiff, but that was nothing. There was no saga from my vantage point whatsoever. We've recruited kids with sagas, and he certainly wasn't one of them. I think the thing that you'll be surprised about Hunter is just what a great teammate and how unselfish he is, and certainly he's loved by his brothers in the locker room. He is, I would say, the most skilled and most talented offensive player that I've had from a center type standpoint. Offensively, there's a lot of things he's got to get a lot better at, and defensively and guarding ball screens and protecting the rim or the paint, and a lot of other things he's got to become much better to become whole. But from a shooting, aggressiveness, passing, playing out of doubles, he probably is as advanced as anybody I've ever been around. And he is without question the most equipped to have a big year for a first-year player. But he's also a fourth-year player But as a first-year player, we've never had a freshman or anybody come in and have the same type, I think, potential to impact us as much as what he does.
We're going to go to the TV platform.
Coach, back here, Neil Jones from KCTV5. Do you get a sense of what this league is going to be like? You got Houston. You got some teams that have been on the national stage. Maybe they're not as afraid of you as some of the teams that have been in this league, been beaten by you for 70 years.
Well, I don't think anybody would be afraid of anybody. The league is great, and you know, it got better when Houston came in it. There's no question from a team that could win a national championship. And I'm not saying the other three can't, but we know Houston can. So, and of course, everybody respects what Kelvin has been able to do over time, and certainly in recent memory. But I think BYU, Cincinnati, and Central Florida are also great ads. And it's going to be unique in that I think our league is in the best position, in large part due to the leadership, in the best position we could be in, period, in today's landscape of college athletics. But I think from the purity of the league and, you know, crowning a true champion, playing each other twice, the round robin and things like that, I think we have lost a little bit in that regard. And natural rivals that we play home and home, but I'm real excited about where the league is, and we'll probably be even more excited moving forward next year.
Coach, we're going to be on your left and the fourth row from the front.
Hi, Coach. Chad Cushing with Playmakers KU. During your tenure as coach at Kansas, one of the signature aspects of some of your best teams has been veteran leadership. This year, with only a handful of guys who have contributed significant minutes coming back, how do you establish the trademark Kansas culture to a group of players who might be new to your program?
You know that's a great question, but I think you kind of answered your own question. KJ Adams, DeJuan Harris, Kevin McCullough, and even though Hunter's new, I mean, he's as experienced as any college player in America for the most part. So I do think we have the veteran leadership without question. I think when you think of it and you see you know, a Russell Robinson or some, you know, to me, that's a DeJuan Harris. And you see a Mario Chalmers. Well, to me, that's a Kevin McCullough. I mean, I do think we have the pieces in place to give us great leadership. But we have three returnees and 6 newcomers. That's it. So with only 9 guys on scholarship that will play this year, because we still plan on redshirting Zach, it does leave a lot less margin for error as in years past.
Coach, we're still on the left side in the rear of the room.
Hi, Coach. Courtney Poston, Playmakers KU. For the first time ever, UConn is entering Lawrence. With them being defending national champions, is this a game that you already have a lot of anticipation for? And also, how do you plan on showing Connecticut what Allen Fieldhouse will bring to the matchup?
I'll be honest, I haven't really thought a lot about what we're going to show Connecticut. We got a couple of people we played before them, but you know, to think that you know, the last 3 national champions are going to play on our court this year. You know, Baylor, ourselves, and Connecticut, I think is pretty cool. And certainly with what Danny and that group did last year and what they've done in the short time they've been there is remarkable, and they'll have a chance to win it all again. But I hope that game and others like that prepare us for what will be as difficult a league as what we've seen since I've been at KU.
Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. The first one will be here on the coach's right, about 3 rows back.
Derek Johnson, Rock Chalk Sports Talk. How would you best describe the competition between Nick Timberlake and Elmarco Jackson for the 2 spot?
I think that both have been competitive. It's a little bit different. You know, when you only have 9 guys, everyone's going to play. When you have 13 guys, 4 of them aren't. So sometimes the competition's a little bit different in those situations. But both guys have been very competitive, and you can throw Johnny Furphy in that mix too. And Jamari McDowell. But the bottom line is, I don't think either one of them are quite ready at this date to let it go because I don't think they're quite yet comfortable. So as talented or as competitive as we envision them being, I think there's a whole nother step they're going to get to, a whole nother level that they're going to get to whenever, they kind of figure it out as opposed to think all the time.
Hey, Coach, our last question for you. Nope, you've changed your mind? Anybody else want the last question? Got it? Nope. You're in the front row in the middle, Coach.
Okay.
Hi, Coach. Ryan Roberts, Riverfront, Cincy. Getting to the new additions, what does a program like Cincinnati bring to the league?
Well, I think it obviously brings a rich basketball heritage and tradition. When you talk about the most traditional teams in our league, Cincinnati's got to be at the top. I mean, Oscar played there, you national champions, and then of course everything that what Hugs did there, and then of course with what Wes will do there. I think Cincinnati's an unbelievable sports town. So I think it's a great add to us. And if I was in the fan base of any of the 4 schools coming into the league, I'd be real excited about the potential that exists and the opportunities that exist for each and every one of them.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.